If you ever have that never-ending feeling of running around like a chicken with his head cut off, which is literally the worst idiom ever, but I can't think of a better one at the moment, then you likely lack consistency and routine in your day. And I think one of the most effective keys to organization is routine and consistency. Today, I'm going to share with you 10 little things that you can do every single day to be more organized. So let's dive into this. All right, number one is to wake up at the same time every single day. One of the most powerful mind hacks that I've learned in my 30s is the power of my internal clock. Our bodies are designed to follow a 24-hour cycle called the circadian rhythm, which carries out essential functions and processes in our body, things like digestion and energy, but most notably, our sleep-wake cycle. During the day, the exposure to the sun and the light triggers our internal clock to generate alertfulness and keep us active, and as the sun sets, our internal clock triggers the production of melatonin, the sleep hormone. Our circadian rhythm aligns with our wakefulness with day and our sleep with night. And the best thing that we can do to support this is consistency. If you're going to bed at 9 p.m. some nights and midnights other nights, and you're waking up at 7 a.m. some mornings and sleep until noon the other mornings, you're making it real hard for your circadian rhythm to stay stable and do its thing. On the contrary, if you go to bed at approximately the same time each night and wake up at approximately the same time every morning, your circadian rhythm is going to be much more sturdy and balanced. I wake up at the same exact time every day, 5:15. And I know this might sound utterly insane to some people, like you're like on Saturday and Sunday you're waking up at 5:15, and the answer is yes, I am. Unless I am very, very sick, I'm awake at 5:15 every single day. And because of this, my circadian rhythm is pretty dang balanced. I may feel a little tired when I first wake up in the morning, but usually within 5 minutes I'm not groggy anymore. And at night my body is naturally primed for sleep at 10 p.m. and I fall asleep quite quickly, and I sleep a full restorative sleep without waking much at night, if any. So what does this have to do with organization? Well, I think one of the most effective keys to organization is routine and consistency. If you have that never-ending feeling of running around like a chicken with his head cut off, again, the worst idiom ever, then you likely lack consistency and routine in your day. Number two, have to-do lists. I'm a big believer in the to-do list, and it doesn't matter how you do this. Use an app, use the notes on your phone, carry around a notepad. It doesn't matter. What matters is every day you are writing down what you need to get done that day. Here's the thing, our brains aren't all that reliable for keeping information. It tends to have this use it or lose it rule, so letting all the things that you need to do rattle around in your head, one, is not doing your mental health any favors, and two, it isn't a reliable method for getting them actually done. So take 5 minutes each day and just do a brain dump. All the stuff you need to do on a piece of paper. You're taking the tasks out of your brain and you're putting them down on paper where you can see them, remember them, and now prioritize them. All right, number three, speaking of prioritize, number three is learn how to prioritize. Definitely the first step to doing this is getting all of the stuff out of your brain and onto a list. This way you can see it all at once and start to decide what needs to get done now and what can wait until later. One method I love for learning to prioritize is the Eisenhower matrix. This is a simple matrix that has 4 quadrants with urgent and less urgent on the x-axis and important and less important on the y-axis. You're going to take your to-do list and start filling in where they fit on the matrix. Then you can use this to prioritize. The first quadrant, being urgent and important, are going to be the tasks you want to do first. These should take main priority. Things in the second quadrant are less urgent but important to you, so they should be things you should schedule soon. They can sometimes get pushed aside for other urgent matters, but they are often vital to things you need to do for your day or your business, so you need to make sure to look at your calendar and see where you can fit them in the near future. The third quadrant is urgent but less important. These are usually the little interruptions in your day that aren't critical, but they need to be taken care of because they're going to take away time from other things you need to do. Often these are things you can delegate or automate. Is this a task you can give to someone else? Can you ask your spouse for help? Can you pass this off to a coworker? It's important not to let these tasks take away from the tasks in quadrant 2. And the fourth quadrant is the less important and less urgent things. These aren't necessarily things that shouldn't be done. However, some of them may be, and they may just fall off your list with time. But often you find these things end up becoming more of a list of like ideas and brainstorming. These things later may move into other quadrants as they form into more concrete ideas. All right, next on my list is a step that is crucial if you want to make number 2 and number 3 even happen, and that is you need to create time and space to be organized every day. It may seem kind of silly to you that you need to schedule time to schedule, but you do. You need a set amount of time each day or week to review your calendar, make your list, prioritize your list, see what's been completed, schedule out your tasks. You need to physically give yourself a little time every single day for this. So typically every morning I spend about 10 days with my to-do list. Typically every morning I spend about 10 minutes with my to-do list, writing it down, prioritizing it, scheduling it out, what I'll complete that day, what's gonna happen later. And then in the afternoon, I usually spend another 10 or 20 minutes with my calendar, seeing what's coming up, scheduling out tasks, organizing things that I need to do, possibly starting tomorrow's to-do list. And as far as more physical organization, I do a 15-minute cleanup every night when my husband puts our son to bed, and then I do a 10-minute cleanup right before I go to sleep every night. These are the times that I have set to tackle organization, both like organization in my calendar and organization physically in my home. You need to set time and space each day to attend to these things if you want them to actually get done. Next up on my list is decluttering your wallet, which is something that maybe you don't need to do every single day, but at least once a week. It's a simple task to instill an organized brain. So remove any old reward cards, take out the loose change, go through your receipts, file away the receipts you're gonna need later, throw away the ones that you don't, but of course, you guys know what I'm gonna tell you to do with those receipts before you chuck them. If you've been watching my videos for more than a hot second, you wanna scan them into your Fetch Rewards app first. You guys have heard me talk about Fetch Rewards a ton in videos because I've been using it for probably a couple years now, and they were cool enough to sponsor another video. So let me quickly remind you of how it works. Fetch Rewards is a super easy to use app where you earn free rewards on literally anything you buy. All you do is scan any receipt or e-receipt and you will earn points for them. You then redeem those points for hundreds of rewards, including Amazon and Visa gift cards. It even works on Amazon and online purchases. Fetch is a totally free app to download and use, and when you use my promo code, it'll give you your first 3,000 points for free when you scan your first receipt. So just check the link in my description box to sign up and make sure before you chuck those receipts that you've given them a scan into Fetch Rewards first. Next on my list, give everything you own a place. Definitely one of the best ways to keep physical things organized is to make sure everything you own has a place that it belongs. One big reason physical clutter accumulates on tables and surfaces is just because we're not quite sure what to do with it. When everything has a home that it goes, tidying is a breeze because you know where to tuck everything away. It has a place that it belongs. Not to mention, when you need something, you know exactly where it is. This certainly isn't something you're going to master overnight. It's something you're going to have to constantly work at over time to find the right structure and system that works for you. But in general, if you have something sitting out, you need to ask yourself, where does this belong, and make a home for it that makes sense. Next up is to use routines. Little routines are the backbone of your day and help you stay on track and follow a structure. Much how your circadian rhythm thrives on consistency, using consistency in your routines can help some tasks become just autopilot. Essentially, I love trying to tie tasks I need to do with tasks that I naturally do. So for example, every day I eat lunch, right? I need to eat. I typically am not going to forget to eat. So every day when I go into the kitchen to eat, I spend 10 or 15 minutes before I eat cleaning and prepping the kitchen for the rest of the day. I'll empty the dishwasher if I haven't already done it, do any dishes that were made that morning, wipe down the counters, put away the mail or other clutter. Maybe I prep something for dinner. The point is the rest of my day, and particularly that crazy dinner time rush with a toddler and a baby, are going to go so much better when I've tidied the kitchen for a few minutes. And I know that my body will get hungry and go into the kitchen for lunch, so I tie the need to have the space tidied midday with having lunch. Little routines and habits are going to help your day feel more structured and consistent. Next is to pick out your outfit the night before, and I feel like this one has been told to us ad nauseum, but man oh man guys, it works. Having my outfit prepped the night before is a big game changer to my day. If you watched my video on 3 little habits, then you know getting dressed each day is one of them. And the likelihood that I get myself dressed before noon is 100% dependent on if I put my outfit out the night before. Especially when I have little ones to tend to in the morning, it's just not something I want to have to fuss with, like getting up to my bedroom, finding something to wear. If it's set out for me, all I gotta do is get dressed. And when I get dressed, it triggers my brain to say, it's daytime, it's time to start getting stuff done. When I'm dressed, I feel more capable to handle what the day might throw at me versus if I were in my pajamas. And it leads to me being more productive and organized with my time. Next up is meal planning. Let me tell you, I'm definitely not one of those people who lives in the past by any means. I do not grow fearing older, I don't miss my 20s, I'm quite pleased and happy to be an adult. But I will tell you, gosh darn it, the one really disappointing thing about being an adult, particularly a parent, is you gotta decide what everyone is eating for dinner every single night. Lord, it's utterly exhausting. However, I have found that it's about 50% less exhausting when I'm prepared and organized about it. Now, I'm a big believer in meal planning. My video below will be linked on how I do it, but every week I make a plan of what I'm going to eat that week and what nights we're going to eat it. It gets written up on our calendar, and then that's what we follow. It completely removes the what's for dinner problem, and best yet, you never find yourself at like 4:30 trying to figure out what the heck you're gonna eat. You can check each morning what's on the list and what's gonna be prepared. You'll remember to take things out of the freezer to defrost, or put those ingredients in the crock pot, or prep things ahead if necessary. And when you have the entire week planned, you can even prep some things the day before. The truth is, the dinner time rush, especially as a parent, can be one of the most hectic or unorganized parts of my day. You're exhausted, the kids are hungry, everyone is wearing thin. But if you use a little prep and organization ahead of time, you can find that this time of day can run a lot smoother. All right, number 10, you didn't think I was going to end this list without telling you to clean your kitchen sink at night, did you? If you've been watching my videos a little while now, you know how much I love and preach the clean kitchen sink rule. Every night I force myself to take whatever steps necessary to empty my sink and wipe it down before bed so it's clean. Because in turn, every morning I get to come down the stairs and I'm greeted with a clean sink, and it starts my morning off on such a better foot. But the most amazing thing about the clean sink rule is that it becomes a habit that ripples into other habits. Often when I'm cleaning my sink, I often will clear off the kitchen counters, I'll wipe them down. I'm more inclined to come into the living room and check for glasses or plates that were left on the coffee table. This overflows into the living room. As I head upstairs, I'll pick up any toys on the ground, I'll fold the blanket on the sofa, I'll wipe down the coffee table. Just the little habit of committing to cleaning my sink every night slowly over time has helped me establish other little routines and habits that have kept my home tidy naturally, routinely, and overall made me more mindful of keeping things picked up and made me a more organized person with my stuff. There you have it, guys. 10 things to do every day to be a little bit more organized. If this is your first time landing on my channel, I would love it if you hit the subscribe button down below. I post new videos every single week, sometimes twice a week, about productivity and organization and affordable living and just basic, honest motherhood. And if you hit the little bell subscription, then you'll get notified every single time a video is live. As always, thank you so much for stopping by and watching. I hope you're having a fantastic day, and I will see you all in my next video.